Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie, and today we're doing a weekend reading vlog. It is Saturday, but I also kind of wanted to use this as an experiment to see how much I actually read on the weekend. I'm scared it's actually not going to be that much. So I'm going to be using my stopwatch on my iPhone, except I film on my phone, so I can't actually show you. I'll figure it out. Either I will film on my computer while I'm holding my phone, or I'll put a screenshot up here and you guys are just gonna have to believe me. I don't have immediate plans this weekend, so hopefully I have a lot of time to read. We are going out to brunch right now, and I'll take you along. Okay, it's about 2:30 and I haven't read anything. We went out for brunch and then we drove around a little bit. We watched some Heartstopper and I'm so sleepy. I just want to sleep for the rest of the day. The other day I got up to page 154 in Bunny and it took me a while to get to page 70. I was just kind of still in my reading slump and nothing weird had really happened yet. And I was like, okay, wait, when's the weird stuff gonna start? And then it started. And now I'm in part 2 of the story and it's very different. It took like a drastic turn just in narration. And so I'm hoping to read the rest of it in one sitting because I think taking breaks away from it is just diluting the story for me. I'm really the kind of person who likes, first of all, I can usually only read one book at a time. And when I do, I like to read it in as little sittings as possible so I can really, I don't know, feel it more. Does that make sense? I'm tired. Okay, so I am going to start my stopwatch and we'll see how much reading I actually get done. Okay, I've been reading for an hour and 48 minutes. I haven't even read 100 pages. I'm such a slow reader. That's my husband. He's playing like one of those shooting games. What is it? Call of Duty or something. He gets really pissed. I'm now on part 3 of this story and I just love how it's written. It's just like this fever dream of like, I don't even know how to describe it. It is definitely weird now. It feels like the tone of someone in their graduate program, like someone who is a little bit pretentious, but trying not to be, but making fun of other people being pretentious. And all of that is in writing, but it's also very funny. Like some of the things, just some of the word choices, like how her teacher was moving her hands, performing vaguely gynecological gestures. And then she was at this like really awkward dinner party where no one wanted to say anything. So they watched this guy like eating the canapes. And it says, we all watch him chew contentedly, then swallow, then chew again. If we could watch him digest, we would. I love it in stories when there's commentary about social things because I feel like I'm very awkward in that way where, especially in formal situations, how ridiculous some of the things that we do are. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It feels very stressful, but in kind of a feverish way where I'm not that concerned what's gonna happen because it's like, something bad is gonna happen. Something bad probably already has happened. I also really like all of the animal references, I suppose. I don't know, it feels almost like a fairy tale. Like they've mentioned Goldilocks and the Three Bears several times. There's also like some wolfish commentary, Little Red Riding Hood. There is a red cape also. And then obviously with the bunnies, Alice in Wonderland. So it's all very interesting. And because it feels so fevered, there are drugs and alcohol involved. You're wondering what's the reality, what is not the reality. Does any of that matter? Okay, I finished. I finished it in 3 hours and 14 minutes. This is my little screenshot. Although I finished half of it in 3 hours and 15 minutes. I think I'm like the world's slowest reader. That was about halfway through, so I would imagine that this would have taken 6.5 hours in total for me to read. I didn't realize I was that slow of a reader. But anyway, I finished the book. I'm glad I did, although I really do wish I had read it in 1 or 2 sittings. I love when a book is kind of open to interpretation and they don't really spoon feed you everything. And I also am a little pretentious myself, so anything sort of pretentious or even making fun of pretentiousness, I eat it up like a little bunny. Ugh. But I feel like lately I've really been enjoying reality versus illusion versus God, I can't talk at all. And I've also been super effing interested in anything animalistic. So I'm thinking back even reading A History of Wild Places. Those were the two things I liked in the book, whether something was real or not, and also the sort of animal personification that was kind of happening in that. And I feel like in a lot of books that I've read this year, there have been slight hints of that. So yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna read it. I feel like I want to reread it already just to get it in one concentration. Is it a 4.5 or is it a 5? It's one of those two. It's funny, every now and then in the background, first of all, I hear and I hear like fucking I'm trying to think back because this was kind of a slow start for me, but I think that was entirely just me and my reading slump, and it had nothing to do with the actual book. So that slump is kind of disrupting me from reading this appropriately. I think at this point I'm gonna give it a 4.5, just because there was a bit of my mind that was not fully committed to this story until the halfway point. Ultimately, I really, really, really like this book, and I can't wait to reread it in the future. So then that would be a 5, right? I'm gonna make dinner now, but I think next I want to read this. First of all, it's short, so I'm gonna be able to tackle it. It's 164 pages, and it's also about reality versus illusion because of a plague that is feasted upon the world, I suppose. I think it's like post-apocalyptic. And there's also monsters, which kind of gives me that animalness that I'm craving lately. So I think this is what I'm gonna read next. It's now a little later, and I got to page 68 and then I woke up. But I think I'm just gonna settle down now, watch some YouTube videos. But let me look at the stats for today. First of all, we have an overall time read of 4 hours and 17 minutes for today, which for a full day of not working, it sounds like not that much time. But then again, I was very diligent about stopping the stopwatch anytime I got distracted, like even when I got a text from someone and read it, I paused it. Obviously, when I went to the bathroom or ate food or anything like that. So it's possible that I think that I read a lot more than I actually do. However, the total pages read were 219. I read 151 pages of Bunny and 68 pages of this book. So only 219 pages, which for a weekend day, I also don't think is that much. So I don't know, I might just be being judgy of myself. We'll see how I do tomorrow, and I'm excited to read more of this. I like that it is being told in one setting, like he's telling us a story in a very specific time and place, so that even though he's telling this crazy adventure, it's not as intimidating because he's just telling us a story. And I really do love stories that are set in one setting. So it's like, even though all these crazy things he's talking about, at the end of the day, like I'm still very much aware that we're sitting in a room with this character and he's telling us about it after the fact. It's also very just interesting, the idea of this plague. I think this actually was inspired by COVID, just because the non-infected who were to the infected seeming to be infected, they couldn't smell. And so I was like, okay, wait, that's influenced by COVID for sure. Overall, this kind of experimentation, I'm really glad that I did it because I was kind of in a reading slump, and it's definitely encouraged me to keep reading even when I was like, oh, I'd rather watch TV or something like that. So this might be something you want to try if you're in a reading slump. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's around 5 a.m. Our fire or smoke alarm went off, and now I'm very much awake. So I will be reading. This doesn't look very much awake. Okay, it's 6:22. I am on page 135, but I'm falling asleep, so I'm gonna take a little nap. Hey guys, it's later, and I've now finished this book. My total reading time is now this. So according to math that I may or may not have done correctly, this book was 164 pages long. Actually, that's not math, I just looked at the book, and it took me 2 hours and 37 minutes between yesterday and today to finish it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fascinating because, like I said, I've been really interested in reality versus fiction, and I know the manipulation of reality, but also there was just some really good quotes. Like the entire first page is just amazing. I'll put a screenshot of it right here. It was a little bit more action-packed than the books that I'm used to reading, but it still was accessible to me because it was being told to me in one time by one person. So I gave it 4.5 stars. Now I'm trying to figure out what to read next. I have a lot of options. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Wish me luck. Okay, I'm on page 26, and first of all, it's always funny to me when a teenager is like, I'm gonna investigate this murder, which is pretty ageist and rude of me. So my apologies. I really like how this author is approaching it though with the mixed media, because this is Pip, our main character. She is investigating, or at least researching, this murder that happened, I think 5 years ago. So we're seeing original reports, original interviews. Her project is saying that the media misrepresented this case or highly influenced the outcome of this. But she's told us in her notes and reports that she actually believes the accused is innocent and that she doesn't think that she can solve this case, but she's hoping that's the actual outcome. I think it's really interesting already what they're saying about race and how that's affecting, obviously, assholes' perception of what happened. It's so frustrating because it is believable, which is really sad.
Change your hair.
What?
Your hair looks different.
So, Segway is not your thing, huh?
Is it?
Okay, I made it to part 2 of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is about at page 101. I am kind of wanting to put it down, which is crazy because I like the mystery. I have several ideas of what could happen, but nothing really substantial. And one of them that I'm pretty sure is going to be a puzzle piece, but then again, I don't have all the puzzle pieces, which would usually make me really excited to read this. However, I feel like I'm not really connecting with the characters. Maybe it is because of the mixed media. I really liked that there is mixed media in it, but it kind of makes things a little bit colder and a little less personal. And I feel like the mysteries that I really loved, I really connect with the character, the main detective in it. But then something happened in the woods just now, and it just felt kind of like a teen episode of Full House or something. So I don't know. If people are getting murdered, I want it to be dark and I want it to be gory and scary, which is why I really like Mindy McGinnis. I think I'm gonna put it down for a little bit and do something else. But this is how much time in total I've spent reading so far this weekend. I don't think I'm done today, but just for clarity. This might be the stupidest video I've ever made, just because, I don't know, it feels kind of stupid at this point. But I always think that, and then I go to edit it and I'm just like, this is fine. It's about 6 o'clock now, and I have had a Celsius, which tastes butt ugly, but it woke me up. I edited my video so far, and I think I'm ready to get back into this. Let's go! Okay guys, I've made it to the halfway point, which is page 192. Also, I'm in my bedroom, so sorry for the creepy inspector light. We had this weird instance where our ceiling fan / light had water coming in through it from the ceiling, and it like leaked all over the floor. So now it looks like some sketchy investigator or like a crack house. I clearly never meant to either. Anyway, I don't know if it's the energy drink or just that the story's really picked up, but I feel like I flew through this to this point, and I'm very interested in wrapping this up. I usually go to bed around 10, but I might stay up and try to finish this. We shall see, but I just wanted to let you know that it's going well, and this is my total time read this weekend so far. I'll do the breakdown when I finish this, or when I finish for the evening. Okay, I lied, I'm not staying up very late. It's 9 p.m. now, and I took a shower. I'm gonna edit some of this video, and I'm not gonna read anymore because I don't want to get wrapped in and stay up too late and be really tired when I wake up for work tomorrow. So I ended up on page 226. And yes, I'm very much liking it. I will probably finish it tomorrow. So final statistics for today, Sunday. For this book, 226 pages read in 3 hours and 21 minutes. Total pages between this book and this book just today is 322 pages in 4 hours and 55 minutes, which is interesting because that's over 100 pages more than I read yesterday, but only 40 minutes more. I think it has to do with the size of the text in this book. Who knows? In total for today and yesterday, I read 541 pages and I spent 9 hours and 12 minutes reading. I felt disappointed yesterday, but today I feel like I mostly read. I also still, ate food and hung out with my husband and watched TV and just chilled on my phone. So I feel like it was a good day. But yeah, I have learned that I am a slower reader than I thought I was. I don't really care too much about that, but it would maybe be fun for a future video to try to like strengthen my reading time or maybe quicken it just a little bit. But then again, would that make my enjoyment level go down of a book? Who knows? Here's a little visual if you guys want to see. I don't know why I'm being so nerdy about statistics right now. This experiment was fun. If you guys are in a reading slump, I think it would be something to encourage you to read more, because I think it definitely did that this weekend. If not for this little challenge, I'm not sure that I would have finished these two or started this book, and I did enjoy myself, so I think that's it. Oh, while editing, I was also thinking about this, and I think it has more to do with 2020, with perhaps the riots and maybe the news and the media. I want to do some more research on it, but in case you've read that and you have thoughts on it, let me know below. Also, if you have recommendations for anything that you've read that has to do with manipulation of reality or confusion of reality versus illusion, or things having to do with people acting like animals or animalistic things, please let me know, because this video has made me realize that's something that I'm really interested in. All right, that is it. I am going to hunker down now, and I will see you in the next video.